Have you ever noticed that some people stay calm no matter what happens around them? Even when things go wrong, when pressure builds, when everyone else starts panicking, they somehow stay steady. They don't raise their voice, they don't lose control, and they seem to think clearly even in stressful moments. But how do they do it? Why do some people fall apart under pressure while others remain calm and composed? Is it something they're born with, or is there a psychological reason behind it? When psychologists study emotional behavior, they often find something surprising. Calmness is not just a personality trait. In many cases, it's actually the result of mental habits and emotional skills that people develop over time. And one of the psychologists who studied this idea deeply is Daniel Goleman, the author who introduced the concept of emotional intelligence to a global audience. Goleman explains that people who stay calm during stressful situations usually have higher emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence simply means the ability to understand emotions and manage them instead of being controlled by them. In other words, calm people don't avoid emotions, they just handle them differently. Let's look at what that really means in real life. First habit: calm people pause before reacting. Let me ask you something. When something stressful happens, what is the first thing you do? Most people react instantly. But according to Daniel Goleman, emotionally intelligent people create a small gap between what they feel and how they react. And that small pause can completely change the outcome of a situation. Example 1. Missing an important flight. Imagine this situation. You arrive at the airport for an important trip. You walk up to the counter, and the airline staff tells you something frustrating. Your flight has already left. You missed the plane. For many people, this moment immediately triggers panic. Their mind fills with thoughts like, "This is terrible. My whole trip is ruined. How could this happen?" Stress rises quickly and emotions take over. But calm people handle this moment differently. They might still feel disappointed, but instead of reacting emotionally, they pause for a moment. They take a breath. Then they ask themselves a simple question: what can I do next? Instead of focusing on the mistake, they focus on the solution. They check the next available flight, they talk to the airline staff, they adjust their plans. Psychologists often describe this as solution-focused thinking, when your mind focuses on solving the problem instead of reacting emotionally. Stress becomes easier to manage. And this is one of the biggest differences between calm people and everyone else. Second habit: calm people manage their thoughts. Another important psychological difference lies in how calm people think about problems. Our thoughts can make situations feel much worse than they actually are. Have you ever noticed how quickly your mind jumps to negative conclusions? For example, imagine making a mistake at work. Your mind might immediately start thinking, "My boss will be angry. This might damage my reputation. What if this causes bigger problems?" Suddenly, the situation feels much more stressful. But calm people train their minds to think differently. Instead of assuming the worst, they step back and analyze the situation logically. They might ask themselves, "Is this really as bad as it feels right now? What's the best way to fix this? Will this matter a week from now?" Psychologists call this cognitive reframing, which means changing the way you interpret a situation so that it becomes less stressful. This mental habit helps calm people stay emotionally balanced. Example 2. Being criticized at work. Now imagine another situation. You're at work and suddenly your boss criticizes something you did. Maybe the feedback feels uncomfortable. Maybe the tone sounds harsh. For many people, this moment immediately triggers emotions. Some people become defensive, some feel embarrassed, some replay the conversation in their mind for the rest of the day. But calm people approach this moment differently. Instead of reacting immediately, they pause and listen carefully. Then they respond calmly. They might say something simple like, "Thanks for the feedback. I'll work on improving that." By responding calmly, they prevent the situation from turning into an argument. More importantly, they protect their mental energy. According to Daniel Goleman, this ability to regulate emotional reactions is one of the core elements of emotional intelligence.
It allows people to stay composed even when facing criticism or pressure. Calm people accept what they cannot control. Another psychological habit that calm people often develop is acceptance. Life rarely goes exactly the way we plan. Unexpected problems appear, plans change, mistakes happen. Many people waste emotional energy fighting situations they cannot control. They keep thinking about what should have happened instead. But calm people understand something important. Not everything in life is controllable. And once they recognize that, they shift their attention to what can be controlled, their response, their mindset, and their next action. This shift helps them move forward faster, while others remain stuck in frustration. Calm people are not emotionless. Here is something important to understand. Calm people are not emotionless. They still feel stress, they still experience frustration, they still face difficult moments. The difference is that they have learned how to manage their emotions instead of letting emotions control them. They pause before reacting, they think before responding, and they focus on solutions rather than problems. Over time, these habits become natural. The most interesting part. When I started learning more about psychology, one idea kept appearing again and again. Calmness is not something only a few people are born with. It's actually a skill that can be developed. According to psychologists like Daniel Goleman, emotional intelligence can grow with practice, which means anyone, including you, can learn to stay calmer in stressful situations. It begins with small habits, taking a breath before reacting, looking for solutions instead of focusing on the problem, and reminding yourself that not every situation requires an emotional reaction. With time, these habits slowly reshape how your mind responds to stress. In a world that feels fast, stressful, and unpredictable, the ability to stay calm is one of the most valuable psychological skills a person can develop. Because when your mind stays calm, your decisions become clearer, your relationships improve, and challenges become easier to handle. So the next time you see someone who stays calm even when everything around them feels chaotic, remember this: their calmness isn't magic. It's simply the result of psychological habits that help them manage emotions differently. And the good news is, anyone can learn those habits. So, if this video made you think differently about calmness and the human mind, make sure to like this video. And if you enjoy learning about psychology and human behavior, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this. Because sometimes understanding psychology doesn't just explain other people. Sometimes it helps us understand ourselves.